RTD Live Talk, Detroit's number one midday live talk show. Excited to be back and excited to connect on this Friday early evening and find out what's going on, as well as just look back over the week and see, just talk about all the craziness that's happening right now, as it looks like the Stimmy checks are dropping in people's account. And so let's have some fun with it today. So I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know via chat where you're watching from, and we can definitely acknowledge your presence and welcome you to the community. So let me check. I got some things going on. Okay, open up on my window. Okay, so hope everyone's doing well. Got a couple articles I want to share here, and then open up the phone lines. Here for you guys at 313-462-0027. All right, so let me get to the chat. We got Simon says, Lord bless you, Mike. His face shine upon you and be gracious to you and give you peace. His shalom. Amen to that one. Appreciate it. Thank you. Philman in the building. We got King D. Dexter Dave says, hey, family. It says, hope LBP calls in today. Oh, so we got Solo in the building. We got Kenneth. We got Yukon. We got Adam from Idaho. How you doing, my friend? We got El Monte in the building. So appreciate everybody for taking time to join me. And it looks like, I guess, the primary subject matter on the surface, and as I've mentioned before, how it's the craziness and the level of excitement that people have begun that has been building up over the idea of people getting stimulus checks. And this is the third round. And there's words floating around out there that the next relief plan, the infrastructure plan, the American Recovery Plan is now getting ready to be rolled out, the lingo at least, pretty soon. So since the signature has been signed and the 1.9 has been brought into existence, equating to about $6 trillion within a 365-day time frame. And then, of course, the taxpayer portion of that is about $42,000, which is what your fair share of that cost would be. And for the future of paying that back, of course, it won't be paid back. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But anyway, man, it's very interesting. And of course, I got to see some precious metals out there. Silver looked like it did like a little bit of a dip. And then I saw something about the tech sector yesterday, had a little bit of a sell-off. And so, yeah, a lot of interesting things. And of course, the 10-year treasury, how can we not talk about that? How it has gone above the 1.6 mark, putting pressure on the Federal Reserve to have to respond sometime next week with the Operation Twist, or you name it. They're going to have to throw something out there in the form of a monetary tool to keep this system going. So people are dumping debt. People are dumping government liabilities, especially when you just 1.9 out of thin air and $2 trillion coming in a couple months from now. So anyway, I can ramble on forever, but the treasury number is 1.8. Okay, damn. So Tony, I'm behind the scene. Last time I looked, it was 1.6. So thank you for updating me on that one. And so let me see here. So let me check in the chat real quick. Got Adam in the building, Tony B, Dexter B, Bruce, Leroy. JB says, I saw everyone just live their lives. Yeah, that would be great. But unfortunately, as I put in the Discord earlier, how I guess after yesterday or last night's Biden's whole little coronavirus assessment of this, marking the 1 year anniversary of the lockdowns, he apparently authorized FEMA to do some more things. Of course, it was already authorized, so he's trying to take credit for something that was already in play. But as I posted in the Discord, how Ford Field, which is the Lions facility, which is a huge, stadium, FEMA's turned it into a jab camp. And so when I saw that, it was like, more of this stuff, man. But it is what it is. It's to be expected. I'd imagine whatever city you're in, you're going to be getting some type of facilities as well if you haven't already. So it is what it is, man. But the biggest question will be, once all the facilities are utilized and you still have a good portion of the population that have no interest in participating and going to those facilities, then what will be the narrative the government tries to spin to make those that are not willing to participate turn out to be the bad guys. So we'll see how that plays out. And let me see here. I see some thoughts in the chat there. It says, Mike, there is a parallel system running with the old system. The quantum financial system is the hope that will solve most issues. So Adam, once again, the quantum financial system, outside of hearing about it a lot And of course, that was all packaged in with, what was supposed to be kicked in officially come January, heading into this past presidential cycle. But once again, please feel free to share with me some evidence or some proof that there is something else going on under the surface. Because as of right now, I'm not really seeing much of that, and I will be definitely open to hearing about that. Because once again, that quantum financial system, in my opinion, it's a narrative that someone has created. I think like Charlie Ward and a lot of individuals in that space to give people a sense of false hope to further. Um, yeah, so I'll keep that to myself anyway. But feel free to let me know where your sources come from, and I'll definitely dive into it. All right, we got Gio, and okay, says my solo says Mike, they're gonna try and trick people into getting their freedom back once they take the jab. However, they always use the excuse of mutation, even if you got the BS jab, no doubt. So that's the thing. It's quite obvious now. It's mainstream news now that they've told people that once you get the jab, you still have to follow suit with all the precautions of distancing and mask and everything like that. And then the excuse is it'll be a little bit less, it'll be more mild for you if you happen to come across the type of thing. So the fact that people have the jab, it still doesn't give that full sense of security that you're, immune from it altogether. Because once again, it's a lot about keeping people in fear. And so that's what it is. Okay, so let me dive in and do a little house maintenance first. I was actually, before I went on live, I was listening to all types of stimulus check songs on YouTube, and it's some extremely creative individuals out there. But it's amazing how people have the creativity and excitement around creating stimulus songs. Okay, so let me dive right in real quick. And let me go back here. Let me, I messed up my camera. Let me, phone lines are not open just yet. Hold those calls, and then I'll get you in a minute. All right. So before we dive further, let me do some house cleaning first. Let me open my window up. Okay. So yeah, for those that are new to the channel, I want to make sure you guys know where to go get some primary information throughout the day if you're interested. RethinkingADollar.com is the blog. I put stuff up there, metals, cryptos, you name it, as well as videos I recommend people stay in tune with. So you'll definitely be well informed on what's going on. And then also, during the week, we have our off-the-air connections. If you're interested in doing so via become a Patreon member, you can hang out with us during the week. And then also on the social side of things, link beneath this video here. I want to encourage you to join the Discord community. I actually put some new tabs in there. So we're talking about, preparedness, i.e. some prepper talk. We got fitness in there and all types of other things that give people a variety of subjects to share their expertise on. So if you're interested, and you want to connect throughout the day as well, click the social tab, go to the third tab, click on that, and you'll get an invite to join the Discord page and come hang out with us there, and we can talk a little bit. All right, so let's move on. Let me get to the nitty gritty. So here's an article that caught my attention just because it shines some light on how much we are being robbed. We, meaning those that actually pay taxes, and even those who don't pay taxes. Hell, everybody in this country, all 300 million of us have literally been robbed because they're giving out crumbs. They're giving out chump change in the form of these Stimmy checks to get people, I guess, to pacify and to, just distract people and to give people a sense of, the government's trying to rebrand themselves as being for the people. And so just watching Biden's speech today, they keep talking about this, regaining the people's trust. And so Biden, even during his little spiel, was mentioning how a lot of people don't trust the government no more, and he's saying the same thing over and over again, reading from a teleprompter. He was like, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'll take full blame for it. I don't have no problem with it. I want to be trust. I want you to trust me and transparency. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. Anyway. And so once again, article here, federal COVID spending just hit $41,870 per taxpayer. Did you see that much in your benefit? So as of now, if each American citizen had to pay their fair share of this past 1 year's worth of currency creation, which happens to be over 25% of the current monetary base that was brought into existence within a 365-day time frame, your bill would be $41,870. But yet, as of now, per individual, first round, what is it? Was it 1,200 stimulus check, and then it was a 600, and it was 600 in last month, January, and then I guess it's 1,400 now. So you add that up, that pales in comparison to what you actually owe, or what the American people actually owe in taxpayer dollars terms. So real quickly here, it says President Biden just signed his sweeping 1.9 trillion spending package into law. Once the bill hits the books, total taxpayer expenditure on this relief will hit $6 trillion, which roughly estimates comes out to $41,870 in spending per federal taxpayer. So that's what, that's your portion of the bill. And then it says here, for the same $6 trillion in expenditures, the government could have given each federal taxpayer a $41,870 check. So imagine if it was really about the people, the best way to actually to get people spending again would probably be to definitely alleviate taxes altogether, because people who are still able to work or whatnot would have some more money in their pocket, which they will probably spend to rejuvenate the economy. That would be a good way to do it. But once again, taxes are still the same, and they're going to probably go up pretty soon. And it says here, or to think about it a bit differently, they could have written an American roughly an $18,000 check. And so either way, to get, crumbs, it pales in comparison to the total bill that's due or that's on our name individually. So that was interesting there. And then it says here, it's nothing really. But anyway, so out of the last year, the $6 trillion that's been brought into existence, 41,870 is the taxpayer portion. So I was like, oh, let me see what the total is for the national debt in general. So of course I went to the debt clock. And so with this current, because the 1.9 hasn't been added to this, I don't think yet. With this current 28 trillion debt that's currently on the debt clock, as of right now, your portion is $223,893, i.e., the debt per taxpayer, which it says here. The definition of that, it says the debt per taxpayer equals the U.S. national debt divided by the number of U.S. taxpayers. So just from 28 trillion, you would owe 220,000, and then you add in, the 6,000, or that could be in there. So I got to see, but I don't think that 6 trillion is in there. I believe it is. So add a little bit of something on top of that, but you get the idea. You owe six figures. And then another little issue that's a crisis that we are not hearing much about happens to be at the border. So here's a video from Twitter where it shows a nice long line of immigrants trying to get into the country across this river, the Rio Grande in Texas. So you see all those people up there on the hill, and then they would say that there's no crisis at the border. So that's a lot of people that's taking a paddle boat across the river. So I'm not hearing much about the issue on the border, but there's one there. And then to keep it moving, give an idea as to how the stimulus frenzy right now is just in its infancy phase. I remember going back, and so I pulled up this video here. And so this is from January 8th of this year when Biden gave us the whole little spiel. He was talking about, Biden says the 600 COVID relief payments are simply not enough. And in the very beginning of this, let me actually mute this. In the very beginning of this video here, he talks about how it's just a down payment. And so I thought this was interesting.
Down payment. Next week, bipartisan COVID relief package passed in December was a very important step, but just a down payment. Next week, I'll be here with you all laying out the groundwork for the next COVID economic relief package that meets the critical moment of our economy and our country when we face it.
So this is back, saying that the $600 that was given in January is just a down payment. And then, of course, as of now, 2 months later, $1,400, and that's still part of the down payment. So down payment means that it's going to be a much greater total, either what they're going to look to try to give in the form of stimulus while they're covering it up and trying to save the economy, or what. But we'll see. But you got $1,200, $600, $1,400. Yeah, it's going to keep going. So let me know in the chat, what do you think that next round of stimulus will be? Feel free to let me know. And then let me see. Here's another one here.
A grim economy
and so this is Biden urges Congress to pass the $900 billion stimulus package. And he emphasized again of just like the need to do more. And so this was in December. I think they're out of order. And then here's something where We just got the 1.9, and so it says here comes Biden's 2 trillion. And so this is probably just a rough draft, but a 2 trillion infrastructure package. And just to, save you some time here, it talks about now that the American Rescue Plan has been signed into law by President Biden, he wants to proceed with a 2 trillion infrastructure package as part of the American Recovery Plan. And so pretty soon we're going to start here, probably come April, May, because once again, if we are able to learn from prior experiences with stimulus, the last round of stimulus, which was that round the 2 trillion or so mark, or over two, was it? I forgot the actual number for the first one. Somebody let me know in the chat if you remember offhand. But it ran out. It ran out within before summer. It was like I think April, May, because they were saying that the initial stimulus check would be good for 3 or 4 months. And I'm thinking like that's like not even a half a week for some people. But anyway, so it's good to say this 1.9 is going to run out real soon, and of course they're going to have to come with something else pretty soon. So, all right, it's kind of loud there. Let's open the phone lines there. Hello, Carlos. Say where you calling from. Hello? Going once, going twice. Anybody there? All righty. Give me a call. Let's talk. So let's open up the phone lines and we can then talk. All right, man, because I can rant on forever, but I don't want to. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Let me make sure everything is good on my side. If you hear me, let me know. If not, all righty. Maybe not. Okay. Let's keep going. So give me a call. Let's talk. Hopefully everything is good on my side. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello? All right. So it might not be working, but it should be good on my side. Let me try. Let me keep trying. Do the best I can. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? All right, so I might not have any. Yeah, so I might not have any audio. So anyway, just let me know in the chat. Then we'll use the chat. Feel free to highlight at Rethinking a Dollar, and we can go from there. And I'll check in via chat. Let me see here. Let me see. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. It's Matt. Let me see, Matt. Let me figure this out on my side. Try giving me a call again, and I will try to maneuver some stuff, but it should be good to go. All right, let me keep moving through the chat. Someone else call. Let someone else call. Yeah, give out the number. So number right here, 313-462-0027. That's the number where you can reach me. It usually works. But JB says, Mike, the government is jamming your signal with one of these RC-12 guardrails. Hope not, but we'll see. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? All right, so if there's someone there, I should be able to hear you. Let me check my audio settings. Default microphone. Let me see. Noise cancellation, speakers. I'll make sure everything should be good. All right, let me see. Everything should be good. Hello, anybody there? All right, well, I think I'm probably wasting more time. I should probably try to fix it on my end, but it looks like tonight phone lines may not be working, so forgive me, but let's feel free to talk. Or better yet, if you're courageous enough and you're bold enough, you want to check in via face-to-face, I'll put the link here, and you can join me. And instead of calling in, do your camera on your phone, hit that link right there, and then you can join me on screen for a quick thought or a question. And so that's the next best way. Let me see here. So yeah, I'm not going to answer any phone calls because it's doesn't seem to be working. But anyway, let's talk about the Stimmy stuff, man, or whatever else you guys want to talk about. Let me know in the chat. Highlight it. It might be best just to try to check in with me face to face if you want, and we can go from there. Let me scroll here and get caught up in my stuff. So I thought I might actually, just for the sake of fun, if you guys are interested, because I was listening to some of the songs, so I would play them, and hopefully I get a chance to Hopefully, I get a chance to play them.
Stimulus check. I was saving it for maybe a January truck
But
session, but I think
here's
I'll
some
bust it out
songs here.
anyway. Strong chance of this happening on the new album because every redneck I know went out and did exactly this when they got that $1,200 in the mailbox. Here we go. Found a stimulus check in my mailbox and stared at it for a minute or two. Paid out some bills. I could fix my truck.
It's stimulus stuff, man. It's funny.
But the next piece of mail under that check was a Bass Pro catalog. Had pictures of rifles and big shotguns. I put it back in my pocket and I hit that road. Did they really think?
All right, so I'm not much of a country guy, but I thought that was funny. Let me give you guys another one for those that are interested in. So here's one where it's like a combination of one or two, but it's kind of comical, I think. I'll play this one. Let me get this.
What? I need my stimulus check, yeah. I need my stimulus check, yeah. I need my stimulus check, yeah. What? I need my stimulus check, yeah. Okay. I need my stimulus.
All right, so I mean, at this point, you got to do that. You can't help yourself but laugh, man. It's comical, man, that people are excited to get stimmied, not realizing what has happened in history. Whatever stimulus or easing or whatever you call it has ever been rolled out, it never ends well. But yet, it is what it is, man. So anyway. It says, what is Mike playing tonight? So yeah, so Natural Mama just came across some funny stimulus songs. There's a large catalog of stimulus check songs out there, and some of them are extremely funny. If you watch them, if you got time, it's interesting. So here's a question here from Tony B. It says, how much do you think the Fed will print this year? So as of now, we're told from the CBO that Congressional Budget Office, as of now, we're already running a $1 trillion deficit, and that's just like that was already naturally occurring anyway. So you factor in this current 1.9, this next 2 trillion, and whatever else that might be unforeseen as far as like some type of oops in the system, which is more than likely. I would say easily, 5, 6. Like, I knew that I always believed that Trump would have left office like if he just literally got his first term at 30 trillion. And because every president has doubled the national debt since Bill Clinton. And so if that is the case, and right now we're at 30, based upon trend, if Biden situation within the next 4 years, in a worst case scenarios of everything going completely wrong, we're going to be looking at 40, maybe 45, 50 trillion. And that's just, if we go according to the prior trends, not to mention whatever else is going to come in the meantime. So I can say this year, easy, another 6 trillion, easy at the bare minimum. And the probably saddest part about that is the 6 trillion will probably go towards Wall Street again, because even in this current stimulus package, or this American was a restructuring rescue plan, a very small portion goes to small businesses. So I'd imagine it goes to show that, getting funds to the small businesses is not really important at all, but we're told that it is. Philman, good point. And so that's when after the .com in 2000, 2001, when Bush came in and the stock market crashed, that's when everything started doubling. And so once again, I've had people on the show who mentioned that the surplus during Clinton's years, if you really look at the books, how they move things around, it really wasn't much of a surplus, but on the surface, we were told it was a surplus. So once again, I was, a lot younger then. I didn't pay attention to the events like I do now, but I wouldn't think that our government happened at that point to have been responsible for the first time since Andrew Jackson actually paid off the debt, 130 plus years prior to that. So I wouldn't give the Clinton administration that much credit for actually running a surplus. That's just me. But What else we got here? So feel free to throw some questions or some chat. So I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want to join me face to face to throw out a question or to share 2 cents. Feel free to do so. It looks like the phone lines is not working the way that they should, or I'm gonna have some issues on my side. So Yukon says 20 trillion. So that 20 trillion this year or 20 trillion during the Biden administration? Let me know. Crypto King says 2 trillion a quarter this year. That'll put us about the 8 piece. So that definitely is probably something possible. Tony B says about 7. And so Bruce Leroy says 1,400 goes a long way. In some states in LA will pay a half a month's rent, and that's for a studio. Yeah. Oh man, it's very, 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 very sad. So I would imagine now. So let's talk about what's probably coming next week as far as the response in the markets to this stimulus, on top of what the Federal Reserve might have to do in regards to the debt market. And so, are you anticipating because I'd imagine, Robin Hood might get a little bit of a spike. So there's going to be some equities that probably take it a little bit higher. And of course, I don't anticipate seeing gold and silver doing a bid. I am actually see it probably taking a little bit of a dip next week, so that people feel discouraged because they'll be pushed towards probably the crypto space. So I'd imagine, come tomorrow or Sunday, you're going to see a spike in the crypto sector. And so time would tell what else is going on. And so DJ Chad said, checking in from FEMA Region 5. Yeah, man, it sucks, man. I wish my phone line was working, and I don't have a backup to take some calls. So let me see. Because last time I tried that, people said they couldn't hear. But anyway, so let's just try it. So give me a call if you guys want, and I'll try to figure out why it's not working on my side, because I should be good to go. Everything looks good on my side. Let me check my settings. Audio, video. Speakers are up. Device communication. Let's try something different. Okay. Speakers. Okay. So do me a favor. Give me a call. I think I clicked the tab. Something. I think I might have figured something out. But give me a call if you guys want to share a thought, or you guys want your voice to be heard. Give me a call. Let's talk. All right. Tony B says, next week, the yield curve control. I was a week ahead. I'm sorry for the alarm. I should have waited on JP Morgan. Yeah, but here's the thing. I really think the yield curve control is already operational. It's just that it hasn't been officially announced yet. Like, because the question will be, I think the yield curve control, when it's actually implemented, it's going to be the announcement, the verbal announcement that we're going to be buying more, U.S. Treasuries on the long end. Oh, I keep missing some calls. Forgive me. So they're going to actually confess it. But other than that, I think really somebody has been suppressing the rates up until, this past week or two. So, but yet once again, what does that mean? That often mean once they open up that announcement of controlling the future debt yields, that means, like always, it's nothing that they can stop. They will not be able to stop it. So it's basically probably the death nail in the debt market, i.e. the dollar eventually. But anyway, give me a call. Let's talk. I apologize. I missed some calls already. Damn. Nope. Somebody, so JB, no, they're not jamming the signal. I just was ranting and clicked the wrong button again. It says, Mike, you think they will go negative interest rates? Real negative interest rates? No. It'll remain. I mean, nominal interest rates, no. Real interest rates, yes. And I was actually listening to somebody, and they were. Okay, I'll finish this thought in 1 second. Let's see if we can get this. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
This is USI Expat calling from the great state of Wisconsin.
US Expat. How you doing, my man? Do me a favor. Mute the computer or whatever my voice is, because I'm getting an echo.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. I was just hearing myself on a computer or something in your background. But anyway, go ahead. What's on your mind, my friend?
Yeah, sorry. I think I had you on speaker. Sometimes it can echo. I just wanted to say that gold really fought hard today, and it looked like a bottom.
Mm-hmm.
you had a weak or a strong U.S. dollar, and you had a 10-year at 7% of spike, and gold got slammed early but fought back for just a little gain. But I'm really proud of my gold today.
Yes, on the screen right now I have today's activity, and it's clear as day. Like the fact that there's such slamming of the price during the day, and then it always seems to rally back, which lets me know that as much as they're trying to take the price lower, it's hard to do. It's becoming that much harder because I remember like a year or two ago talking about when they slammed the price down and actually stayed down there, but now the resistance is it's hard to resist, man. So I see it's 17.28 as of right now, and silver below the $26. So yeah, well, here's the thing: it's 17.28, but I'd imagine the spot price on an ounce of gold is probably 100 and 100 plus, give or take wherever you go. So once again, it's that disconnect. Like even if it was at 17 even, the premium will still be on top of it. So I don't, at what point do you think at some point where the spot price will no longer be like the primary focus of people as opposed to actually being able to go get something physical and the cost it'd be at that time?
It'll spook people in the silver market. The gold, percentage over spot is about 2.2 is what I'm paying. I mean, silver, that's why I haven't been a big silver buyer lately. But a couple things with gold that I think are interesting right now are the cup formation, the cup and handle formation, and the consolidation, and also the backwardation. The price that you may be citing is from the Yahoo website, which is the backward station. That's actually the future price. So if you go to like goldprice.org, it'll be higher than that right now, and that's what they're talking, that backwardation, which is bullish.
Yeah. So I'm on silverprice.org right now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the same. It's the same thing, I think. In fact, I don't study silver as much, but the gold today definitely was clear with it, and that's bullish too. So I think gold may have bottomed today. I'm a buyer, and I have been for a long time.
Yeah. Well, hey, I understand.
I think today was a great day. I'm proud of that dollar gain because I think it's important. It got smashed early, and it fought back.
Yeah, it did, and hopefully it can stay there because if and when they lose control of it, say goodbye to the old monetary system. So, but once again, manipulation is your friend. It gives you time to continue to get your weight up, man.
It does, and I've been researching the book when money dies, and it's so interesting what happened in Weimar Republic, Germany. Very, very interesting, and that is a great book. And there's an interview on goldmoney, I think, .com or YouTube. You can see with the author of the book interviewed by Turk.
Yeah.
And it's excellent. But think about it. That's 10 years ago, that interview. To what he's saying, things are so much worse as far as the debt. It's not sustainable. You cannot borrow your way out of debt when it's over a 90% GDP to debt ratio.
Yeah, good point. Very true, man. And also
this game is coming to an end, my friend.
Yeah, at some point it will. But yet, I'm of the mindset, between now and that time, I want to try to enjoy this craziness now because when we get to that point, all gloves off, it's going to be complete chaos, man. So enjoy these good days, whatever good means to you right now, man. But I appreciate the call, my friend.
Thank you. You take care. Happy St. Patrick's weekend.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yep. Yeah, man. Good stuff. And so speaking of which, When Money Dies, that book. And so I did a video a while ago and I found a free download. So if anybody wants the download version, just type in When Money Dies, Rethinking a Dollar. It'll pop up there for you. All right. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Berkeley, California.
Berkeley, California.
Yeah, I was wondering if everyone's been thinking about why Bill Gates has been buying up a lot of farmland as well as a lot of mega rich. Has anyone of you just talked about that?
Yes, we have. And so the primary reason, in my opinion, is that those that are in the know, the billionaire category of individuals, they know the importance of actually owning real tangible things. and the scarcity of land and other tangible assets. And so right now over the last year, they've become ultra uber wealthy because of their businesses and all the stock market doing them very good. So they're buying up real tangible things. And also with the land situation, they're buying up primarily the agricultural side of things, to where Bill Gates is on a trip of he's want to tell us what's best to eat, what not to eat. We should all become vegans and plant-based meat, all types of crap. So to control the food supply ultimately, and also to be able to dictate basically what he wants to do when it comes to how this country probably is restructured in the future. So that's my 2 cents on it. But what do you think?
Yeah, that's what I've been reading too. And I know this YouTube channel we all listen to and we love it, Mike. We all, we stack heavy. At the same time, maybe this is a good reminder of, it looks like farmers back in the day, they actually made a lot of money. As people were eating food, because everyone needs to eat.
Yeah.
They actually made out pretty well. I mean, of course, they had to defend themselves as well, but at least they provided a good service for everyone around them.
Yeah.
And as well as they were able to survive things, to get through everything, especially during the Great Depression. So I just want to throw it out there. Maybe everyone should start, growing their own chickens, growing some, vegetables, not just for yourself and your family, but maybe start thinking about making enough, more than enough, so that you'll be able to sell some to your neighbors and feed them, as well as feeding us
right.
even more.
Yeah. Hey man.
That's all I wanted to share, Mike.
Appreciate you.
So much.
Thank you for calling in and sharing that. Thanks. All right, so here is a little article here. So I see TB mentioned about where, but it says Gates' portfolio comprises of about 242,000 acres of farmland and nearly 27 acres of other land across 19 states, according to the land report. And so let me click on the land report and see what it gives us as far as any more detail. And let me see here. Does it say anything specific as far as the states that's mentioned? Let me see here. 40 square mile acre Cascade. So it doesn't say a list of states, but it just mentions what. So basically, I imagine anything that was, heavy acreage and that was available for sale. When you got billions, there's no price that's too high, so you can probably buy it with ease or overbid for it and swoop it all up. So. Yeah, I mean, so think about this. Bill Gates, to my knowledge, he has 2 kids. So that's one of many other assets that we know about. It's a part of his portfolio that is going to be probably passed down generationally to, his kids' kids and kids. So this dude owns half the country already. So, yeah, spooky. Anyway, give me a call. Let's talk. It says, Mike, check the article I just posted. Let me see here. What article did you just post? Give me 1 second. I'll scroll back up. I don't see a thread. JB, let me check. I don't see a thread here in the chat. Let me know. Give me the name of the article and I'll Google it or something like that. Because I don't see it. I don't see the URL on my side here. So if you don't mind, give me the name of the article and I'll try to look it up. What else we got going on? It said landowners will be rich through hard times, just through history. Land price is one thing, but property tax is quite another. Aaron, very good point. But I'd imagine, property tax won't be an issue for Bill Gates anywhere it go. Because you got to also keep in mind, even though his, the whole twisted evil nature of what they're trying to orchestrate, Microsoft is, I'm not sure if it's under, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or whether or not Microsoft went out and bought all this stuff or whatever other entities he owns. But I'm sure he's probably divvied it up pretty well. But that's just on the real natural resource of actually owning land. But you got to think about all the other business. This dude he's spread out and sprinkled investments into every aspect of this controlled demolition of our economy and this whole pandemic situation globally by sponsoring and paying for and buying out corporations. And so there's no doubt he's probably a heavy shareholder in all them vaccine companies as well. So he's probably made a lot more than he will ever be able to spend for sure in his life. But anyway, let's talk. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from?
Mike, totally from Oakland. How you doing, brother?
TB, doing good, my man. What's on your mind this evening or early afternoon, is whatever it is?
Wherever you are in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about negative interest rates.
Okay, give it to me.
Now, a lot of people misconstrue, and I may be the one that is thinking wrong here, but the negative interest rates, from what I read, is for the Fed to hold the reserves of the banks. They want to charge the banks negative interest rates in order to hold their money because they're trying to get the banks to loan out money. And the banks are refusing to loan out money because they know the direction this is going. And it's not necessarily in order to do that, people are going to spend the money if they can get their money flowing. But that has nothing to, negative interest rates has nothing to do with a bank charging someone else, a person that is depositing money in their facility. It's between the Fed and the bank itself.
Okay. So watch this. So when you say the negative interest rates, are we talking about the Fed funds rate, which is at 0.25% right now, or the interest on excess reserves, which is on the bank reserves? Okay.
And right now the banks are sitting on $2 trillion.
Just a staggering. Yeah.
They aren't going to want to take that money out.
Yeah. Now let me go ahead.
If they charge them negative interest rates, what's going to happen is the bank's going to come to you when you go to make a deposit and tell you, I cannot accept this money. You got to go somewhere else where it's going to accept it, because the bank has to transfer that money into the bank reserve with the Fed.
Yeah. Now watch this. So as of now, I'm trying to find out what the interest rate on the excess reserves are for between the Fed and the commercial banks for the cash park there. And I got an older article here. Let me see what year. What is this? This is too old. But anyway, so I want to say it's close to like 2% right now, or 1 point something percent, which is very far from zero or negative, to where I don't think they're going to just all of a sudden just go, literally like, we're not going to pay you interest on you parking cash here, and we're going to go below zero on you like that. I don't think that's going to happen within a short time frame, but it's possible, but I don't see that happening right away. That's why I think the whole yield curve control situation is going to be something that can buy us some time while they implement a lower interest rate reserve for the banks in time to when it gets to the point where it could be negative, possibly.
I think the gig would be up by then. When they start talking about doing negative interest rates on the banks, I think the gig would be up, and everybody will know what this whole CD thing is about.
I don't know, but see, man, it's so hard to try to really navigate these waters, because once again, it's everything it's been done before in history, but it's never been done to this magnitude, to where the system is so big and it's digital in nature primarily, to where and it's so much stuff we don't know about what's going on behind the scenes, man.
Well, this is what we do know. This is a liquidity trap.
Yeah.
And what that means is that they cannot raise interest rates because we cannot pay the bill. And they can't lower interest rates because the banks won't loan any money.
Right. Okay.
So we're in a liquidity trap, and it's going to end.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how bad and when.
Okay, so speaking of which, I misspoke on the rate, and so I actually typed in interest rate on excess reserves, and it looks like, if this is correct, which it looks like it's up to date as of March 15th, it's 0.1% is what they currently have on interest, what they're paying the banks. So with that being the case, with these numbers here, they're 0.1% away from being at zero, and 0.11% of being negative 0.01. So it is possible that they would say, hey, because it's, according to this graph here, as of March 19th, 2020, they dropped it to that 0.10. So it went immediately, as soon as the crisis hit, it went from 1.6 down to 0.10. And then it's been there ever since. So a single year of that $2 trillion that's in reserves only earning 0.10%. So it's a possibility. Yes. So I changed my mind on that one. Yes.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
No, because if you go negative on me, that's a default. If you go negative on me and can't pay me my interest rate, that's a default by the Fed. And no way in the world they're going to default, because they're just going to have to close up shop.
But then think about this: the banks, the too big to fail banks, all the FDIC banks that have funds, which are they're also the shareholders. The big boys are also the shareholders of the banks as well. So if they were perhaps to go to negative, it wouldn't be by much, and it'd be more so a sign of like, okay, you're already 0.01% negative, which means you're getting nothing from us. Now you have to start trying to get this out there. You know what I'm saying? You got to start buying up some of this debt, because we need help with you buying more treasuries and more T-bills or something like that. And so, I don't know.
No, I get you. That's all fine and dandy, but you're the world reserve currency. You can do that if you're ECB.
Yeah.
You can do that if you the Bank of Japan. You cannot do that with the world reserve currency.
Okay, never say never, but hey, well, we're gonna find out. That's for sure.
No, we got ways to go. This is early game.
Yeah.
Let's just sit back and, like you said, let's sit back and enjoy the ride. Let's not be a part of it, but let's just sit back and see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. But it's a good point, man. So I'm glad I looked this up, man, because they're at zero, damn near. So and so I should have known that, because it is beneath the 0.25% of interest for the Fed funds rate itself. So, but yeah, hey, time will tell, man.
I would encourage you to remind yourself who the Fed work for.
Oh, they work for the banks.
There you go. Now we know our answer.
They work for the banks. So, and that's why I mentioned, like, because they're the primary shareholders in the banks. Even if they losing on the deposit side, which happens to be the depositors' funds, they still getting paid. So the shareholders of the banks are still good to go, no matter what. They're still getting their monthly cut. They're getting their monthly cut regardless. Hey, man. But hey, appreciate you calling me, man.
Negative interest rate, I can tell you that.
But yeah.
We'll see. We got tea on it.
Yeah, but here's another thing. Like, whether it's a nominal or not, the real is already for the depositors. Like, already the $2 trillion worth of or deposits sitting in the excess reserves and in the commercial banks, it's already negative. So it's only it'd be even deeper negative for us. But I was watching who was it? I think it's Luke Groman, and he was saying something about as this all plays out, he could see something like a negative 8 or 9% with something. And in real terms, you know what I'm saying? In real terms, negative, like it going deep negative when it gets real bad. So,
in nominal terms, they can probably do that, but not in real terms. I think you may have, and I may have it backwards, but I thought I watched that interview too, and I think he was saying nominal terms.
Really?
In real terms, they just can't. It's a default.
I don't know. But hey, I could be 100% wrong. That's the thing. Like, that's why this is, it's an opportunity for me to learn too, man. Because I'm still trying to process all this, because I ain't got a PhD in economics. You know what I'm saying? I got the street cred, so I'm learning.
About the SLR. We didn't talk about the SLR.
Huh?
You hear that?
Say that again. What you say?
The SLR. End of the month, they have to. It's similar to a bank stress test. And they have to make sure that they're able to adhere to a certain amount of stress, and they removed the reserve. They gave them a minimum amount of reserve. Everybody thinks that the banks don't have to have a reserve.
Yeah,
that wasn't the case. The bigger banks are okay, but the smaller banks had to have a little reserves, and the SLR is coming up, and they're talking like, we ain't even got the reserves, so you guys either gonna have to work with us on the SLRs, or we're gonna have to close shop.
Yeah, now I remember what was it, April? It was April last year when they removed the restrictions on the reserve ratio at that point. And so that was for the too big to fail banks. And
it it's for the littler banks, but the big banks, it doesn't matter because they big banks take little banks.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I was under impression, and I wish I could find the article, but I was, yeah. So I thought it was the big banks because the smaller banks, it doesn't, I mean, it's, they're, no matter what, they're the small fries. So it's all about, the big banks, which it has the most to lose, especially when all that moratorium kicked in and the rents and all that stuff was really kicked in. They need as much capital as they can get a hold of. So it's like, hey, you don't gotta have no reserves. Just use everything you got as firepower type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. You're right. It's banks across the board, but the bigger banks are okay because all they'll do is just call in the reserves from the little banks that they back.
Yeah.
And the bigger banks will be okay. And so they removed it for the bigger banks, and the little banks had to have a minimum amount of reserves. But the little banks now don't even have enough for the stress test.
So
they're asking the Fed that they're going to have to work with them on this FLR in order to stay afloat.
Okay, so so we could low-key have a little bit of a small bank type of meltdown type of situation that works its way up and towards the bigger side of things, huh?
Yeah, it'll stay small to medium.
Yeah,
the big banks are okay no matter what. You could set the world on fire, and the big bank's gonna come out on top. They got this thing under wraps. They know what they're doing. It's the Fed that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Hey, well, time will tell, man. But hey, I appreciate you calling and sharing your thoughts. Get me thinking, man. I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm here to make you think.
All right, my man. For sure, you as well.
Bye.
Yeah, man. All right. So that's it. That's all she wrote for the day. Got to make some moves, man. But I just want to check in and just hear from everybody. I apologize for the phone call issues earlier. It was something on my side in the settings. Once again, yeah, one man show back here. But anyway, hope everybody had a chance to connect in the chat and go back and forth. But yeah, invitation. Here's an open invitation for those that are interested. If you don't want the party to end, as far as being able to hang out with others that think such as just like yourself, I want to encourage you to take time right now. Go over to the Discord page and join the Discord community right now. It's 160 people in the group and 15 online right now. So go join the Discord page. Just click the social media tab down beneath and join the group and share thoughts, articles, videos, whatever you guys want to share over there. We'll keep it going over there. So that's the best way to connect with us. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this hangout, hit a thumbs up and show your support for the channel. And then also what I want to make sure I bring your attention to, I mentioned this in the Discord about this spring and summer being crucial for people to realize that we're running out of time for people to actually utilize these Stimmy checks for good for wealth preservation purposes. And so I'm trying to, get the message out more. So I actually put it in the, something in the community tab about a little billboard, not a billboard, but a yard sign. And so I'm actually getting some made up. I'm going to disperse them all around the city of Detroit. But what I want to, if anybody's out there if interested in wanting to help others become aware of what's going on, I want to definitely show this to you guys real quick so you can see what I'm talking about once I get my settings right. Let me open this up here so I can let you guys see what I'm talking about. But let me open this window up. Man, got so much stuff going on back here. Anyway, so here is a little bit, little visual that I put together. And so stimulus checks destroyed $1, just to get people to thinking with the little visual aid here. And then pointing them back to rethinkingthedollar.com, either the YouTube channel or the blog. And just getting people just asking questions, man. That's what it's about. So anyway, so I'm putting together some yard signs. I'm going to disperse them all around Detroit, city of Detroit, wherever you're located at. If you're interested in also helping me out by getting hold of these signs and being willing to put them around your city and get people to think and join the community as well, let me know. Join the Discord page and just direct message me in the Discord page, and I'll try to figure out a way to get you guys some of these signs. And so somebody said, "Where's the Discord link?" I'll copy it. I'll put it right here in the chat. So if you guys are interested, here's a link to the Discord page. Go join it, and of course, no spamming. No, you're gonna be deleted right away if you spam it. So just so you know. No funny business, just connect and just share thoughts. But anyway, be blessed, be safe. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Talk to you later. Peace.